So I figured I will show you how I work on the planking of the decks for the St. John the Baptist Galleon. So for the Galleon, I received most of the components in some magazines. Let me fetch one so I can show you. As you can see here, all components are laser cut, so yeah, the precision is pretty good. So all I have to do are some small adjustments, and in case of the planks, I have to cut them to size. Here are the strips that I'm using to make the planks. So these will be cut to 7 centimeters in length. I don't have a plank cutter, so I will be using this steel ruler and a cutter. So after cutting the strips, I will move on to adding the caulking effect. For this, I will be using a Sharpie. I masked the planks one by one, and even though I saw that other people online were covering multiple pieces at the same time, the results are not that good, so I figured painting them one by one is way better. So even though it takes quite some time to finish, you will see that the results are way better, at least in my case. The pieces of wood are pretty dry and the cutting precision is quite good. And even though this set of magazines was stored somewhere for some time, so you cannot find them anymore, the pieces of wood were not affected by moisture or anything like that, and as you can see, they turn out pretty good. The instructions of the magazines suggested to cover the entire decks with the pieces of planks, and mark the planks with a pencil. But this way, by cutting them to size and painting them one by one, yields a much better and more realistic result. I will do one more and then I will show you the current progress on the Galleon. So far the build was pretty straightforward, so to say. Most of the pieces were I was able to fit them quite easily with minor adjustments here and there. So this is how the decks turned out so far, as you can see. I'm not sure if the washed out effect is maybe the best, but the Sharpie that I used to simulate the nails did not dry, let's say, correctly or entirely. And when I added the clear coat, it gave this washout effect. I also added, before the varnish, I added a layer of stain. I think it came out pretty good, but I guess you can be the judge of that. Moving forward, what I still need to do is finish this deck and then start working on the final small piece that comes in this area here. And then most of the larger components for the deck are finished. And then I will start closing up the hull of the ship. So as mentioned before, even though it's time consuming to paint the planks one by one, I like the end result much more. And as I'm almost done with it, I think you will see that the end result will be way better. Online I saw that there are various ways of simulating this caulking, like as I mentioned, using a Sharpie or using a graphite crayon, or even using some black string. In my case, using this Sharpie was the easiest way of doing it. Now this is my second scale model, wooden scale model. So I'm by no means professional or anything like that. What I do or did so far was based on experience from other people and research online. My previous model was a warship, but that wasn't this complex, let's say, and the components were not pre-cut and by no means laser cut or anything, so I had to cut everything by hand, and as you can imagine, it's way more difficult and the end result might not be quite that perfect in some areas. With these pre-cut pieces, you save a lot of time and you can focus more on the assembly and not on preparing the components. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I will keep on painting some more planks and keep you posted with how I progress with the decks.